Hey Bearcat fans, welcome to another edition of This Week in Bearcat Athletics. Well, it's Pittsburgh State Week for the Northwest Missouri State football team as they hit the road for Pittsburgh, Kansas this Saturday. The Northwest Missouri State cross-country teams with strong showings against some strong competition last week in Romeoville, Illinois. And the Bearcat volleyball team playing through a tough part of its schedule. We'll have more on all that coming up on This Week in Bearcat Athletics. Northwest Missouri State's football team shut out Lindenwood 69-0 last week in what would be a final tune-up for the toughest part of its schedule, which starts this week in Pittsburgh, Kansas. The undefeated Bearcats have beaten teams with a combined 9-27 record, but the remainder of their schedule will be against teams with a 21-9 combined record. The offensive numbers have picked up in the last two games for Northwest, and head coach Adam Dorrell says he feels his team is playing more physical on that side of the ball.
I think the first thing is we're running the football better, and I just think we're being more physical as a unit, which is helping us down the field with passing. So that's probably the first thing. I think our ability to get to level 2 and block there has been better. Overall, I think that's probably the number one thing. Just we're being more physical as an offense. And, again, we've been saying it all year, our ability to run the football really starts there. It opens up our play action, passing. And with what we do, I think the way we coach our play action stuff, I think it's very authentic. And it gets a lot of guys sucked down. And so, but, again, you have to be able to run the football if you're going to have that stuff work. So.
This week, the Cats play Pittsburgh State in the jungle, and Dorrell says the Gorillas will be the most physical team they have played against this year.
They're dynamic. They've got a lot of playmakers. They've got 2 or 3 receivers that can go get it, and if they get in the open field, they're gone. They're playing 2 to 3 tailbacks, moving some guys in and out of packages, showing a lot of new stuff each week. And trying to make it challenging for defenses to get lined up. I think they're doing a phenomenal job there. Their special teams are great. They've got 2 kick returners, punt returners, averaging around 20 yards a return. Doing a great job with that. Their punt block team is concerning. They're coming after pretty much every punt, and they've blocked punts on the year. So, I would give them high marks on what they're doing with special teams too. And then defensively, they're doing the same thing. I know they've been bitten with the injury bug a little bit on defense, and I think they're set to get some of those kids back, it sounds like. But they're doing the same stuff they do on defense. They try to create havoc and pressure you and get up and go. And
Saturday's game is set for a 2:30 kickoff in Pittsburgh. The Northwest volleyball team wrapped up a 7-match homestand last weekend, beating Lindenwood in 3 before losing to Central Missouri on Saturday. They begin a 4-match road swing with matches at Washburn and Emporia State this weekend. Bearcat volleyball coach Amy Worth says while her team has some work to do to be in the upper echelon of the MIAA, there are just a few little things they need to improve on.
Yeah, it's adding 1 more kill per set and taking away 1 more error per set. And when you tell someone that, it sounds pretty simple. Doing that on a consistent basis is our challenge. And that's what we just have to get through to them on a consistent basis this week in practice. And I think it's going to take off. I feel like we're not far away, and I always tell our players continue to do what you're doing. But we need to raise our level even more. And from the standpoint of what our future looks like, just down a little bit, I can see it. It's going to take off.
The Cats start the week 6th in the MIAA, just 1 game behind Central Missouri with a 4-3 record in conference play. Both Bearcat cross-country teams ran against nationally ranked opponents in Romeoville, Illinois last weekend. The men finished second to Grand Valley State, which is the number 1 men's team in the nation. Braden Clues-Proctor earned MIAA Athlete of the Week for his efforts during that race. He was the top finishing Bearcat, taking 14th place overall with a time of 25 minutes and 12 seconds. The Bearcat women finished 7th out of 11 teams, with Jessica Johnson the highest individual finisher for the Cats, taking 36th place. In a Kansas swing last weekend, the Bearcat women's soccer team dropped a 3-0 decision to Emporia State and finished with a 1-1 tie against Washburn. Anna Holden scored the lone goal of the weekend, finding the back of the net on a free kick. The Cats will have a pair of home matches this weekend when they face Fort Hays State Friday at 3 o'clock at Bearcat Pitch and Sunday at noon against Nebraska Kearney. The golf team has been off since a strong performance in the Bearcat Classic early this month. Monday and Tuesday, they will travel to Parkville for the Park University Fall Classic. It's the second to last tournament of the fall season for Northwest. That's This Week in Bearcat Athletics. For producer Andrew Sherry, I'm Matt Gaarder.